Hello there, my name is Thomas O'Regan, and over the last 3.5 years, me and my wife have built an 11 property portfolio. Today, what I wanted to talk about was the difference in property investing, the difference between a lawyer and a conveyancer. And if you're investing in residential real estate, you really need to invest time into finding the right person for you, whether it is a lawyer or a conveyancer. Now, you can quite if you don't have a lawyer or a conveyancer and you're looking at properties and you're trying to purchase investment properties in residential real estate, don't worry. You can, you know, if you sign a contract, for example, and there's a 3-day cooling off or some sort of cooling off in the contract, where you won't be legally bound, you still can use that time, and you haven't found a conveyancer or a lawyer yet. There's still time to find a conveyancer or a lawyer, to look over the legal aspect of the transaction. Okay, but generally, I recommend getting and interviewing and finding the right lawyer or conveyancer for you and the type of transactions you are going to do in real estate prior to signing contracts and that sort of thing. Regardless, you need one to settle on the property. You need a conveyance for residential real estate. Most of the time, people choose conveyances, and the reason is because conveyances are a lot cheaper. And the reason they're cheaper is because the conveyancer just performs the specific task of settling properties and transacting properties and doing the legal representation around residential properties. But if any issues come up, like large issues, disputes, and that sort of thing, then the best person to have on your team is a lawyer. But the problem is with comparing lawyers to conveyancers. Obviously, a solicitor is going to be far more expensive than a conveyancer. So, to tell you the truth, for the last 11 properties we've purchased or more, we've purchased more properties, but some of them we don't own anymore. We have used a conveyancer because they've been very straightforward transactions, and it's very simple. Honestly, I've used probably 3 or 4, probably 5 different conveyancers at this point. Now I'm really thinking about it, possibly more. And to get the transaction done, really any conveyancer can do it. It's not hard, but the difference between any conveyancer and a good conveyancer is a good conveyancer will back you up 100%, and they'll work on your behalf to get you the best deal possible and represent you in the best way. For example, the best conveyancer I ever had went above and beyond to negotiate the terms of the contract to benefit me in getting a discount on the property, for things that were unforeseen. Which, if you get a conveyancer that is just whatever, they don't really care, then when it comes to issues that arise, they'll probably just fold. And you don't really want someone that's going to fold when it comes to representing your best interest in settling on a property. Now, when it comes to lawyers, if you're really getting into and you want to be a property investor for the long term and doing a lot of deals, then I would recommend getting a lawyer, because you'll probably get to the point where you're negotiating complex property transactions, and when it starts to get very complex, that's when you need a lawyer. For example, if you were purchasing a property on a 6-month settlement, or there's some sort of vendor financing involved, and there's some sort of commercial lease back, or you're purchasing the property on an option, or there's commercial leases, anything like that within the actual contract itself, that's when you would typically use a lawyer. But otherwise, for residential real estate, most of the time, a conveyancer can get the job done for you at a cheaper price. So that's about lawyers and conveyancing in residential real estate. Hopefully this helped a little bit. I will see you guys next time. Bye.